The reason why we're here today, and Billy brought me around here, this is the Ambassador Theatre, and this is where we're opening an exhibition about 1916 on the 27th of February. And this building is a very important building because it was one of the oldest places of assembly in Dublin. Originally built in 1764 to raise funds for the first lying-in hospital in the world, the Rotunda Maternity Hospital. So they used to use a raffle here and dances to raise the money to provide for the people of Dublin to have that hospital. Later on, nationalist speakers spoke in here. In 1880, Parnell addressed an audience in here. Michael Davitt spoke in here. 1905, Sinn Féin was formed in this building. And in 1913, on the 25th of November, the Irish Volunteers signed up in this building to join the Volunteers, and a lot of those took part in the 1916 Rising. When the surrender happened on Moore Street in 1916, just on the right hand side there is where the garrison of the GPO and the four courts were kept out overnight. And just in that doorway to the right hand side there is where Thomas Clark and Edward Daly were denigrated by Captain Lee Wilson, who also witnessed by Michael Collins, who was in that group. Later on, Lee Wilson was killed in the War of Independence in Gorey for what happened in the Rotunda that night. But underneath this building, and we'll be showing up part of it, is a part of the exhibition, are the vaults and the tunnels around this area from Old Dublin, the Victorian sewers. That's where Michael Collins' squad operated out of, where the IRB had their headquarters in Vaughan's Hotel. They would come in over that side there, go underneath the Rotunda tunnels and straight into the tunnels in the centre of Vaughan's, while the G-men stood outside, not knowing that they were there. So we're going to open up some of those, and I remember Billy told me before that he remembers seeing the escape route for the Irish Volunteers in 1916, and that was, everybody thinks they were heading to the Four Courts. You don't go down Moore Street and Moore Lane if you're going to the Four Courts. They're trying to drop into those tunnels to get away, to come up and to keep the fight going through the country. Isn't that right? So that's why we're here today. And I've been down those tunnels.
And they're still there.
They're still there. A lot of them are backfilled now, but for safety reasons, and to replace the floor here. But they do exist, and you can still see the old Victorian pipes that are coming in on those tunnels. So it is authentic, and they are there. I have to get back to work. Don't surprise me like that again.
To say a prayer, the gardener remembers, and so we were going to tell us where the state was from, and that's where those tunnels were. If they had got across the road here, we'd have a totally different 1916. So we haven't much time, we better get back.